It is January the 13th. It's about 7:30. First of all, I'm going to try to make this quick. I made a decision with regards to the rules of this challenge, and I decided that the one thing no longer is strictly that I shower at night, because there have been too many nights where I was just like procrastinating going. I was wasting time when I should have been sleeping, and I felt bad, and I was tired, and it was just not. It's like sometimes it's okay, sometimes it even feels good, but sometimes it's just not the vibe, and it doesn't feel good to try and force myself. But nevertheless, even on the days when I didn't do the one thing, I still did like shift things around and make sure that I would write in the morning. And really that is the key, or the thing that I ultimately want, is for me to regularly, even with a schedule where I often have to like go to a class early in the morning, that I still make the time to write, and specifically make the time to write in the mornings, because that is the best time for me. I'm still fresh. My to-do list hasn't yet run away from me, and I'm running out of time, and then I postpone it and everything. So like really the mornings are the best for me to write. I maintain that for sure. But yeah, as long as I do that, I should be happy, really, because it's not like a night shower is in itself any better than a morning shower or anything. So I'm ruling such that this challenge for me, the one thing for me, is at night figure out what I have to do to make sure that the next morning I get to write before I have to leave. And if there's anything that I can prepare, like food, like showers, then I can do that. But if my solution is just to set my alarm an hour earlier, then that's just as good. Yeah, that's what I decided my one thing is thinking ahead, preparing, and just putting myself in the best position so that I can write early in the morning. I just wanted to give you an update on that. And there are feelings of like, oh, I'm failing this, etc. And like, I'm being loosey-goosey with the rules again. But really, I think it's fine, because it's about the writing, it's not about the showers. And I don't need to force myself to do something that is hard on days when it's too hard, if I can find another solution just as easily. So yesterday I did not shower at night. I decided that I would change the rules instead, and I set my alarm quite early, and I still have plenty of time to go into the bathroom, even wash my hair. It might look crazy now, but it is washed and everything. And then I think I wrote for about an hour. It took me like 10 minutes to get into it. It was a completely new blank Scrivener document for Echoes and Waves. These were the first words that I wrote in this new draft, even though they're like, I'm working with a lot of brackets and placeholders, and it's a little bit throat cleary, but also not entirely. The words did flow, and I did find a groove for the opening scene. It's Annika getting ready in her uncle's house to go back to her father's and family's place, because they're like putting, or not the place necessarily, but because they're putting on a big fancy dinner party for her older sister. And so yeah, I was writing a lot about like the things that she's wearing and everything, and like not all of that is going to stay in, but it was fun and good for me to immerse myself in. I have figured out a lot of the world building in terms of clothing and housing and food and everything at some earlier version of this, which a lot of that just stays the same. And it was just like giving that life and putting that into the scene, and at the same time establishing to myself what the situation is which Annika is living in right now, because she had like a falling out with her family and is like camping out with her uncle basically, who's also an outsider to the family. And I even, because I'm like running a little bit late, I have a class at 8 today. I haven't eaten properly breakfast even. But even so, I like kept writing, even though I wanted to like stop for time reasons. But I kept writing, just like one sentence more, one sentence more, one sentence more, which is a good sign. I wrote, I believe it was 875 words. Wait, one second. Yes, 875 words in total. I'm really glad that I found my way into the draft so fast. And that's where I'm going to pick up tomorrow. And now it's time for a quick draw of the hat, and we'll see if I have time to actually do the thing, the prompt, before I have to go. This is the hat of prompts. Let me draw one. I have to hold it at the actual camera. Here we go. Years after the end, one character tells someone about their adventure. Which part do they leave out because it's too painful? Or, and this is more like for revision, because it's inconsequential, which would mean that maybe you can cut that out of your story. Which character? I'm writing in Annika's POV at the moment, so maybe I will go with her for now. There are a lot of parts that are painful for each of them. I think Annika at the end, she's going to, in order to solve the story at the end, basically, she makes it seem like she is incompetent and even a bad person, depending on the perspective. She's like taking the blame for the thing that they'll do at the end, basically. I mean, for one, depending on who she tells the story to, she wouldn't be forthcoming with the truth when it comes to that, because she doesn't like want to rat out her friends. There's also like, she's like giving her father and his company and his good standing and everything a harsh blow, if that's how you say that, which she feels justified in and is justified in, but it's still painful. Like, she loses that part of her family. I'm not sure about her siblings, which side they will be on, if there will be any sort of reconciliation at the end at some point. I don't know what their role is in everything. I don't know. I feel like she would try and leave out, even though, as I said, the way that they end the story, she's going to look like a big old fool, among other things. But I think she would leave out all of the bad decisions that she makes throughout the story. I mean, she tries to make up for a lot of her bad decisions during the story. I don't know, it's just painful for her to be the bad guy, but she has been the bad guy in some ways to some people, for sure. So I think she would smooth that out. I think it's possible that with all that they do, which is targeted at her father and his company, she might cause some damage of some kind. I'll have to figure that out. To her uncle, the uncle who is living apart from the family because of something that happened between him and the father when they were younger. The uncle who had taken her in, even though he like doesn't have the space and everything, and he doesn't have the money. I mean, he's not like entirely poor, but I think she's going to cause damage to him in an unintended way. And that is going to feel really, really, really shitty for her because he doesn't deserve that, and she might have chosen differently, whatever it is. Whatever it is, she might have chosen differently if she had known that that would cause damage to him. I will have to think about what that might be, but I think that that would be a good thing to tie into the story. Yeah, I will leave it at that because I'm running out of time. If you are doing some sort of challenge where you're trying to change your habits or anything, is there, like, how flexible are you with the rules? Do you feel like it's okay to change up the rules in order to make it easier, but also make it more natural to you, maybe? Just in general, how's your writing going? I hope that these videos are kind of inspiring to you or entertaining, or it's just nice to have it in the background or something. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Good, bye bye bye.